I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pink Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We're going to get you out of here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver picks for the games begin at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pink Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's meet the cappers and we'll get right to the picks. We'll say hello to Jack. Jack, what's happening?
What's happening, Tony? Thanks for having me again. Another fresh week. NBA Cup starts today. We're feeling good and we're looking to make money.
That's right. We're about to make opportunity with this NBA Cup tonight. Hello to David. David, what's going on?
Another week, another Lions victory, so no complaints from me.
Yep, they don't grade. They don't wins and losses don't matter. Style doesn't matter. Just the wins and losses. So it counts. Damon, what's happening?
Exactly.
How you doing, Tony? Coming off a profitable night, looking to keep that going tonight, definitely.
Yep, look forward to that as well. Big night tonight. Rod, taking a big night. Rod, what's going on?
Hey, yeah, can't complain to the start of the week. I can get mad at the Vegas Golden Knights because they cost me a perfect start to the week. So, bums. But it is what it is. They got their first loss at home. So, it was just one of those spots that couldn't go against Vegas. And, hey, they finally got their first home loss. It happens. Didn't expect them to go perfect all season long. But, hey, great start of the week. Lots of nice action today to get some more money. Let's get it. Love this card today.
Let's do it. Love the card indeed. We got lots to bet on tonight. So we'll have picks for you from the college football games, NBA, and of course college basketball. We'll ask the cappers what they have from college basketball. We don't do blocks yet in college basketball. Probably sometime in December we'll do that. Of course, we also have here. Also, we'll have NHL as well for you guys here on the show. Let's get this show underway. And we'll take a look here at college football to start off the show. So let's take a look here at the college football card here. Get to the odds screen for college football. I think we'll be set to go here in just a second. College football. We're going to go to the sixth screen here. College football night. We've got Central Michigan and Toledo here. Toledo laying 14.5, total 52. Next up, we've got on the card tonight will be Western Michigan and Bowling Green. Bowling Green now up to a 9.5 point favorite. 1 point move up here. We see the total sits here at 57.5. And then we'll close it out here with Ball State Buffalo. Buffalo at home, 3.5, total 55.5. We'll get this one started here with Damien.
Hey, Tony. Yeah, taking a look here at Western Michigan and Bowling Green. You said Bowling Green, that line's moving up, and I do like Bowling Green here in this game. It's a huge game in the MAC. You know, you got that logjam at the top with Western Michigan and 4 other schools here, or a total of 4 schools tied at 4-1. But if Western Michigan can't force the turnovers, I don't see any reason why Bowling Green can't cover this number. I know Bowling Green can be run on a little bit, but I don't see that Western Michigan defense being able to stop Bowling Green. I know Marshall and Northern Illinois, they have similar talent to Bowling Green, and they both covered the number versus Western Michigan, and I'm liking Bowling Green to cover that number as well.
Yeah, from Damien. All right, let's move on over to Tony Brown. We're waiting on. Let's move on over to Jack.
Yeah, I couldn't really get a pick out of this Bowling Green game tonight, so sorry for all you folks at home. I tend to address myself as a man of the people, but I have no lean at all in that one. But I do have one for the Buffalo Ball State. I'm looking to take Buffalo with the points here, -3.5. They're the 2-0. They're 2-0 as the home favorite this season. And I think Ball State have kind of looked all over the place recently, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm going to take the points with Buffalo, and then with the Toledo Central. I'm taking the under. I think both offenses the past few weeks have not looked great, and the defenses look not bad. So, yeah, I'm going with the under 51.5 in that one.
Yeah, from Jack, we move on over. Next up, we move on over to Ron.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take the under Western Michigan, Bowling Green. We've seen Western Michigan struggle to put up points last week against Northern Illinois, and you look going against Bowling Green. That defense is even better than Northern Illinois' defense. So good luck getting points there for Western Michigan. They are 7-2 to the overall season, but not here against Bowling Green. Good luck. Give me the under 57.5 there. We'll lean to Bowling Green to cover that giant number as well. And then I like Toledo here against Central Mich. I'll lay that big giant number. I think you can even extend that number out. I think they win by 3 touchdowns. The Rocket Man takes big flight today, and Toledo whoops it up on Central Mich there in that one. And Ball State Buffalo. I'm gonna pass on that one. No real side for me. I can make a case for both sides of those of that ugliness game. Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
Let's go to the Maction Land with David Racy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the over actually in that Western Michigan Bowling Green game. I know Bowling Green's defense has been pretty solid, but Western Michigan's defense has been brutal. They've allowed quite a few points to some bad teams in the MAC. I think Bowling Green can move it on them, but on the other side, I also think Western Michigan can move it on them on Bowling Green as well. Western has done a great job scoring points this year. Wolf's been a serviceable quarterback. I know it's a high total, but I do think we can get the over 57.5. And then Central Michigan and Toledo, I'm on the under as well. Central Michigan offensively right now is struggling. 13 points last week against Bowling Green with, I believe, 7 of those points coming in garbage time. Prior to that, 7 points against Miami of Ohio. I think they're on their 3rd or 4th starting quarterback right now. Same reasons we took the under last week is we just don't think Central can move the ball consistently. So I like the under there.
Yeah, from David, tell you what I think about these games. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay it here with Toledo. Central Michigan 1-9 of the spread on the road against the MAC. Chippewas, no, they're struggling defensively here. Inaccuracy and inefficiency at the quarterback position. They get 5.5 yards per rush. Toledo's been very efficient with their passing game. They defend well. We'll look at Toledo in that spot. Western Michigan, Bowling Green. Still going to look at the points. Taking Western Michigan here plus the points. Not a very good favorite here. Bowling Green 1-3 of the spread at home when they're favored by 3.5 and 10 points. Broncos cover spreads on the road. 8-2 of the spread against on the road against the MAC this year. You look at Western Michigan's offense against the MAC. Well, they're putting up points, right? 41 points a game, running for 6.1 yards a carry. A very efficient passing game. Yeah, I know they got issues defensively here, but Bowling Green here is they failed to cover 5 of their past 6 there. And also, too, you look at them defensively, you give it 5 yards per pass. The defense isn't bad, but they just don't cover spread. So I'll look here for Western in that one. Ball State and Buffalo, these teams trying to battle to become bowl eligible. Last check, the weather looked pretty fine in these locations. Just chilly weather, autumn weather, going to be around 40 degrees. Now, light wind. I'll go Ball State Buffalo over the total on this one. Ball State against the MAC. What a passing game they have. 331 yards passing, 10.5 yards per pass attempt. But their defense has not been very good. Buffalo has a pretty good passing game here against the conference. Look over in that one. All right, let's continue here on the drive. Let's get ready here to switch over to the NBA. Got some NBA Cup games here tonight. And let's get to the NBA card. We'll do 2 at a time here from this NBA board tonight. So let's get the odds up for the NBA screen. We'll start here with the Heat and the Pistons. We see here the Heat 1.5 on the road, total 214. Next game we'll cover in this slot will be Hawks and Celtics. Look at Celtics. Celtics now up to 16, total 225.5. Let's get this one underway here with Damian.
Yeah, I like Detroit here against the Heat. I like them to win. It's a short line. I like them to win outright. They get off to that slow start, but they've won 3 of their last 5. They're one of the better rebounding teams in all of the NBA, and they actually rank in the upper echelon just about every defensive category here in the league. Now, their offense does need work, but, they're going to be going against a Heat team that's going to be without Jimmy Butler, and I think Detroit gets it done here on their home floor.
There from Damian. Next up, we move on over to Jack.
Yeah, just to double check, we're talking Celtics, Hawks, Pistons, Heat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got premiums in both of those, but I'm happy to give player props. So it was a bit all over the place whether Jason Tatum was going to play for the Celtics. From right now, what I'm seeing, he is starting. He's expected to start now, and he was a game-time decision. So I did originally have Brown with the over points because he's averaging over 30 points last season without JT. But now JT is playing. I'm looking at taking White with the over 15.5 points. He has just been lights out this season. He's averaging nearly 19. So I'm taking the over 15.5 with Derek White in that game. And then with the Pistons Heat, give me Duren with over 9.5 rebounds against Adebayo, who is good for his size, but he's just been all over the boards this season so far. So give me over 9.5 rebounds with Duren.
They're trying to update some of the injuries here. Springer, Porzingis out for Boston. Horford and Tatum will play tonight. On Atlanta, it's a laundry list here. Trae Young here out. Bogdanovich, Bufkin, Hunter, Krejci, Lundy, Zeller out there. Butler out for Miami. Detroit with Clinton and Thompson. Duren going to play now. Duren to play here for Detroit. Next up, we move on over to Rod.
And for me, in these ones here, I'm going to lay with the Celtics. I think these are the spot that they love to beat down teams and take a huge advantage of an Atlanta team that's missing a whole boatload of guys, as Tony just listed, that boatload that's out. and one of the Celtics love to do, beat up on teams in spots. And kicking off this cup, yeah, of course they're going to want to kick the crap out of whoever they're playing. So sorry, Atlanta, but you're going to lose by 20 here tonight or more. The way the Celtics team can score, especially they start nailing threes. They love to put up the three, and if those things start falling, ooh, watch out. You're going to get real ugly real fast there in that one. So lay it with the Celtics there in that one. And the Heat in Detroit, I'm going to take the under 214.5. I think it's the first to 100. You're missing some guys on the Heat side. In Detroit, definitely going to slow up that pace. You see Detroit playing some defense, 8-3 to the under this season. So 214.5. I know it's a low total there. I'm still going to lean the under 214.5.
Yeah, as Rod says, piling up. Remember, point differential is a tiebreaker in some of these in these.
Yeah, right. So a lot of ass slapping going on in Boston.
You could be looking for some teams to run it up because that came into play last year where teams were trying to qualify for the next round, home court. All that's also part of the tiebreaker. Somewhat similar to soccer. I mean, Silver was very the reason. Silver was one of the first to pretty much look into sports betting. He went into European soccer, look at their model, and obviously he saw how these cups came up, was pretty much copying what we see in European soccer. And one of their tiebreakers is goal differential. We see this here, point differential, as being a tiebreaker. So you will see teams trying to run it up, especially the smart coaches. There were some dumb coaches last year that had no clue what was going on. I will admit that. The smart coaches knew what was happening because I knew there were some guys that didn't have no clue how it worked. All right, we move on over to David.
Yeah, I think Rod's right on with that under in that Detroit-Miami game, especially without Butler. I think both teams really slow it down. And then on the Hawks-Celtics, with these big spreads, it's always tough, and I'd love to take the Hawks. I was looking for any angle to take the Hawks, and I just can't do it. I know it's a big number. I think Boston can cover the 17 here. They just played earlier last week. Boston won by 30 in Atlanta, so give me Boston here minus the 16.5.
There from David. Tell you what I think about these games. I'm going to go over here in this Boston-Atlanta game. I know the Hawks played a fast pace, fourth fastest pace on the road. I know there's no Trae Young, but I still think that's their system. Boston, when they've been big favorites at home, 18-11 to the over when they're favored by 10 or greater points. They make their threes here on the road. Boston at home, third in offensive efficiency, averaging 121 points per 100 possessions. Hawks 27th in defensive efficiency. I'll look here for the Hawks in that one. I'm sorry, for the over in the Hawks and Celtics. Heat and Pistons here. I'm going to be looking here. And I'm going to still take Miami in this one. The Pistons has really struggled shooting the basketball at home. 32% from three. They're giving 38% from beyond the arc. And Miami on the road, they make their threes 41%. And Detroit defensive efficiency at home, 23rd in defensive efficiency at home, giving up 116 points per 100 possessions. They have a minus 6.5 rating. I will look here at Miami in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue with this NBA card for Tuesday. Next up, the games we'll be covering will be Hornets and Magic. The Magic here laying 9, the total 213. We've got the Knicks and the 76ers. Sixers are dogs here. Knicks on the road, favorite 3. The total coming here at 213. Let's take a quick look at these injuries. Bridges, Jeffries, Trey Mann was out. Richards and Williams out here for the Hornets. Boncaro and Carter remain out for Orlando. And on that Knicks game, we will let you know that Achiuwa and Robinson out. The bench players, Payne and McBride, are questionable. Maxey out for the Sixers. Both Paul George and Embiid will play tonight. So let's get this segment underway here with Damian.
The Sixers-Knicks here, I'm liking the under in this one. I know it's Embiid. He's finally back in the lineup, hasn't played all season. I question what kind of shape he's in, how much of a run they're actually going to give him. I think, maybe the Sixers try and slow this down. You already mentioned Tyrese Maxey out. He's the main scorer without Embiid. Also Paul George, but I think we've seen he kind of been running out of gas a little bit here in the fourth quarter. The Knicks, a lot of new faces still looking to gel. I think this game stays under the total. And we look back at last year's playoff series, pretty intensely played, pretty much emotions going on in this one. I think this stays under.
Yeah, from Damian. All right, next up we move on over to Jack.
Yeah, I got picks in both of these ones, and again, I think it's one of those you got to be careful playing the over/under and the spreads for the NBA Cup because in normal games, when your team's down like 9 points and you're on plus 9.5, just walk out the game. With 30 seconds on the clock. Whereas now they're going to be playing, they're going to try and score a few more points for that point differential. So if you are playing the over/under, you've got to take that one on the chin. You've got to live by it or die by it, or just don't take it at all. That being said, I'm taking the Hornets with the points. They're 4-2 this season against the spread with a one-day rest, and the Magic are 3-5 this season against the spread with a one-day rest. So I think the fact that we're getting 9 or 8.5 points, make sure you do your shopping. With the Hornets at home here, with the way the Melo's playing, it's just a no-brainer for me. And then with the Sixers Knicks, I'm going with the over, to be honest. Embiid back. The 76ers have been putting up an okay amount of points, but you got to remember they're just shooting jumpers. They're just shooting jump shots and letting Maxey drive, really. Now they've got Embiid, it's a whole different dynamic to their offense. And the Knicks are 4-1 in favor of the over as the away favorite this season. So over in the Knicks and the Hornets with the points.
There from Jack. Next up, we move on over to Rod.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Give me the Hornets plus the points. There in that one, 9. That's way too many. The Hornets can rebound, so out rebounding and getting second chance points is huge for the Hornets there in that one, especially getting 9. So yeah, give me the Hornets plus the 9 there. I agree, and I like the over with the Knicks and the 76ers. I at 212. Whew, that's way too low for me. I got to take the over there as well. I think it's one of those things. Does it fly over that number and we see like 230, 240? No, probably not. But I think we easily get into the 220s. I can't take 10 under there. I'm not in the NBA at this day and age. Not there. I think Embiid's pretty rested. I don't think they start him in this spot if he's not ready to go. I'm going to take whatever his point total is over as well. He's going to do the bulk of the scoring and the heavy lifting. I think he scores at least 30 plus tonight. And I think his last I seen his number was a 24.5. I think he easily gets to the 30. So taking Embiid over his total and that game total over.
All right, there from Rod. Next up, we move on over to David.
Yeah, I'm also going to hop on the Hornets bandwagon here. I do think it's too many points, especially without Banchero. Hornets have played pretty competitively in their last 3 games, so I like the Hornets there. And the Knicks 76ers, I'm going to take the 76ers on the money line. I know it's Embiid's first game. There's some unknowns there, but to Rod's point, I don't think they're going to put him out there if he's not somewhat close to being ready to go. I mean, he's a dominant force down low. And this Knicks team, to me, has been pretty disappointing. They're 0-3 in their last 3 road games. They're missing still some critical pieces. So I know Maxey's out, but give me the 76ers on the money line.
There from David, say what I think about this game. One game I'll look at here. I'm going to agree with David and take the Sixers here in this one. New York's defense. This is one of the, like I said, I think in a previous show, when the Knicks were at home and they got that win. I forgot who it was against recently. I said, Knicks are a team that I want to play at home, fade on the road because they have really no depth at all. It's pretty much they're pretty much reliant on their starters, like the Lakers, to score the points. But New York on the road this year, 29th in road defensive efficiency, allowing 121 points per 100 possessions, a -2 net rating. They've lost 4 of 6 on the road by giving up 48% shooting, 40% from 3. I cannot take the Knicks here on the road until they show the bench shows me something. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Let's get ready here for the next series of games here from the NBA. Next one's up will be Raptors and Bucks. The Bucks here are going to be laying 9, the total 225. And then we'll go Suns and Jazz. The Suns 5.5 on the road, total 227.5. Keep an eye here on these injuries here. In the first one, Toronto's the usual laundry list here. Barnes, Brown, Olenek, Quickly, Walter. Walter quickly moves from doubtful now to out. Temple still questionable. Lillard and Milton out for Milwaukee. We've got Giannis, Jackson, Trent will be on the probable side. Suns and Jazz. Durant out, Gillespie out, Nurkic still questionable. On the Jazz side, Kessler out now, Preston out, George is probable. So let's get this one underway here with Damien. You're on mute, Damien. You're on mute.
Sorry about that, guys. Nothing I'm really in love with here, but just because Toronto was so awful. But the Bucks haven't been. They shouldn't be laying 9 points right now, I don't think, to anybody. I know you mentioned Lillard being out, but this Bucks team, there just seems something off with them right now. I'll take a flyer here on Toronto with the points in Milwaukee.
There from Damien. Next up, we move on right over to Jack.
Yeah, the Bucks game is my third and final premium. So you need to jump on the package if you want to see that one. But I can give you the under in the Suns Jazz. The Jazz are 2-0 in favor for the under after a 2-day rest or more. The Suns are 4-3 with the under after a 1-day rest. But again, they got no KD, who's been putting up so many points for them this season. And I think under 227 is quite a lot of points. And again, with the NBA Cup, you are going to see teams like the Jazz, who probably aren't looking at a playoff spot this season, treating this game as a playoff game. So expect them to be a bit more tighter on defense.
There from Jack. Next up, we move on over to Ron.
You know what? Only one way to go, and give me the Raptors on the money line versus the Bucks. Why not? What are the Bucks? They've got 2 wins all season long. Not covering anything. Awful. Raptors just next man up. They've been covering spreads like crazy. I'll take the Raptors on the money line. Good spot to outright. All of a sudden the Bucks are going to start covering big giant spreads. No, I don't think so. Give me the Raptors there. If you want to take the points, I'm just going to take a shot here in the money line. It's almost 3 times your money. I'm seeing plus 295 in spots. Yeah, almost 3 times my money. I got to sprinkle a little bit on the Raptors outright there. And then the Jazz, I don't trust the Jazz. I was at like 3.5, and they were trying to bait you in to take the Jazz then, and now it's up at 5.5 in spots. Here, you want to take a couple more points with the Jazz? Come on, you want to. No, thanks, I do not. I'm going to fade dogs off of 2 days rest. It just hasn't fared so well for dogs off of 2 days rest. I like the Suns here to win by at least 10. So I'll lay it with the Suns there on that one, even without Durant. We know Booker. Ball hog. They got a couple in the Suns, and that's why they struggle at times. Because when you get a couple ball hogs on the same team, what happens? You fight for the ball on the same team. So Booker doesn't have to fight with anybody here tonight, and I think he goes off. Give me the Suns there in that one.
There from Rod on over to David.
Well, I'm going to take the bait there, Rod. I'm going to take the Jazz here with the points.
You have to do like this for the whole rest of the show. You have to put the Jazz hands going. Come on. Isn't that how the rule goes? If you think, yeah, like that. Jazz hands. Yeah, see.
I know Utah's been pretty rough this season. They have won 2 of their last 3 games, and Phoenix is just playing close games right now. They just lost in overtime to the Kings. Won by 1 against the Mavs, 3 against the Heat, 2 against the Sixers, 6 against the Trailblazers. They've just been dialed into close games, and I'm going to take them to have another close one here. So give me the points there, and then I'm with Rod, not so much on the money line, but I will take the Raptors with the points. This Bucks team is tough to trust right now. Toronto, they're hit and miss. Either they're going to lose by 20 or they're going to be right in it. And I think they're going to be right in this one. I know injuries have played a huge part for them, but like Rod touched on, Milwaukee has been a disaster as well. So give me the points with Toronto.
From David, I'll tell you what I think about these games. Toronto and Milwaukee. I'm going to go over the total in this game. Toronto is last on defensive efficiency on the road. Give 122 points per 100 possessions and -9 net rating. Milwaukee, they can put up points at home. They're averaging 117 points per 100 possessions. Looking at their shooting, 49% at home, 40% from 3, but they give up 4 at home. They don't defend the 3-point ball very well. 41% they allow to their opponents there. And the Raptors have their struggles we talked about defensively. Suns and the Jazz, I think this line right now, what is it, 227.5? That's too high for a Jazz team. For a Jazz that's last in offensive efficiency, you're going to put 228 up here, 227.5 or whatever it is now, 227.5. That is too much. Remember Budenholzer, first-year head coach. Remember when he was with Milwaukee? They were an elite defensive team. They had that first-round exit. The owner lost his mind and fired him. Well, he's paying for that firing right now. Look what happened to the Bucks since, right? He had that team playing well. So Budenholzer, what better way? Again, a little angle here. First-year head coach with a contender. This might mean something to him, right? To win that cup or go deep in the cup, right? So I think this might have a little extra meaning since he's a first-year coach with a contending team. I think that there may be some importance there. Also, they play defense here. And look at this Jazz team. Horrible offense. The Suns here have an opportunity here to defend and get the victory. I know there's no Durant here, but I'll take the under in that one between the Suns and Jazz. Let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll close out the NBA with the next 2 games on the card for tonight. And they will be here T-Wolves and Blazers. Timberwolves now 9 here. It's still 9. Total 222. Next up will be, to close it out, Mavericks and Warriors. The Warriors tick up from the 2.5 now to 3. Total is 235. We get this one underway here with Damien.
Yeah, so Klay Thompson here returning to Golden State, but I'm liking the Warriors in this one to cover the number. It's kind of interesting. Buddy Hield kind of replaced here Klay Thompson in Golden State, and he's actually having a much better season than Klay. He's hit 43s already at nearly a 49% clip. I know if he had shot that well in Philly, he'd still be here, but that's not the case. The Warriors are coming off that nice road trip, 4-1. They beat the Thunder and the Celtics. They always seem to get up for these types of games, big games here, and I like Golden State here just to take it to the Mavs.
From Damien, next up we move on over to Jack.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors. Give me Golden State Warriors with a -3. Golden State Warriors 5-2 on a one-day rest against the spread this season. Plus, they're now finally back at home. In front of their home crowd. And Dallas, they have not been the same road team as what they were last season. They were a really good road team last season, and it kind of feels like the opposite here. They had that tough loss to the Nuggets, and they're 1-4 against the spread on the one-day rest. So it just feels like to me that Warriors game is just a bit of a home run, to be honest.
There from Jack. And next up we move on over to Rod. You're on mute, Rod.
Looking at these two here in the spot, give me Minnesota -9 there over Portland. You look at Portland just struggling offensively to scoring up points, and we know this the Timberwolves, they can definitely rack it up. I think they win by 10 plus. Last time we seen Portland, they were struggling to get to 90. Same thing happens there. Give me the Timberwolves -9, and you know what? You look at that Dallas and taking on Golden State. I like the under there, 234.5. I think that's just too many points there in that one. The Warriors definitely can play some defense. Dallas loves to heave up the 3, and the Warriors very good at defending that 3. So give me the under 234.5 there in that one.
There from let's update some of the injury news in these games here. We've got Exum out here for Dallas. P.J. Washington is doubtful. Lively questionable. Luka is on the probable side. Wiggins questionable here for Golden State. Minnesota, a clean injury report. This might be the healthiest team in the NBA. How many times have I said Minnesota clean injury report? That's what happens when you get rid of Cat, I guess. All right. On the Portland side, we got some late injury news here. Thibault we know is out, but DeAndre Ayton was a late addition to this report, at least the one since I've seen it. Yep. Ayton is a late addition to the injury report here, the rim protector here for Portland. Let's see what it is here. Right index finger sprain. Man, for $1 million, man, dude, play. All right, you're playing for the money. You got to sprain your tape it up. My goodness. All right. Well, anyway, it rings unclear. Late addition. So he has a sprained finger.
I got a boo boo.
Yeah,
I got a boo boo. I can't play.
I mean, this is to guys. This is again. Sometimes these players don't even know that's an NBA Cup until they come to this arena and see the floor. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys don't even know it is the NBA Cup they're playing. I would not be surprised. But oh no, just tape it up. They see the court. What's going on? Oh, what's the cup today? Oh, tape it up. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, we've had NFL quarterbacks not know the overtime rule, right? That could be a situation here. Let's move on over to David.
I don't love either of these games, but I think in this Timberwolves Trailblazers, I think the only play for me would be the Timberwolves. I know they're coming off of a disappointing loss at home to the Heat, but this Trailblazers team, like Rod alluded to, scoring just like no points, 191 total points in their last 2 games, which includes a 25-point loss on the road to this Timberwolves team. So I think Minnesota's the way to go. And then Dallas, Golden State, I do like Golden State, but it worries me, first game after a lengthy road trip. They've had a great start to the season. The road trip was a great success. They come home, maybe put their guard down a little bit. I'm still going to take the Warriors, but it worries me coming back from the road trip.
There we go from David. I'll tell you what I think about these games here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Warriors. That always was a concern here, but they got so much depth here, so we'll see how that rolls. The issue with Dallas has been their defense on the road. Good home defense, but road defense has been terrible. 25th in defensive efficiency on the road, give up nearly 120 points per 100 possessions. They have a minus 3.5 net rating here on the road. Golden State's defending very good at home, 4th in defensive efficiency, a plus 8.5 net rating. You look at the numbers here for the Mavs on the road, they give up 49% shooting, 44% from three. You're not playing defense. Golden State will exploit that. So I like Golden State in that spot. Boy, no Ayton, or we don't know what 8 and 10. We don't know what's going on with Ayton here, but I'll still take Minnesota here, lay the points. Portland home shooting just 43%, 30% from three. That's just terrible. T-Wolves can shoot a little bit here on the road. You look at Portland, my God, look at these numbers at home. In offensive efficiency, 29th in offensive efficiency at home, averaging 103 points per 100 possessions, a minus 15.8. I know a lot of that has to do with that first game against Golden State, but still pretty bad numbers at home for this Portland team. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready here to switch gears. We switch gears over to college hoops. Now, of course, we know this time of the year, we're just going to ask the cappers to give us what they got. It's early. It's November, and we'll probably wait until December when we do the time block. So on the NBA segment, it's just we're just going to ask the cappers, give us what you got. So let's get this segment on up with Damon. Damon, college hoops, give us what you got.
All right, I'm looking at this St. Mary's Akron game, and I like St. Mary's here to cover this number. It's about 14 and a half. Akron, they've got a lot of new faces out there. They returned just 4 players from all of last year. They've lost 75% of their scoring. St. Mary's, on the other hand, 2 of their top 3 scorers are returning. I really like the addition of Paulus Maraskis from Arizona. I think he's going to be a huge addition to St. Mary's. Size at St. Mary's just too much for the Zips. Lay the number here, St. Mary's.
Mary's there from Damien. Next up, we move on over to Jack.
Yeah, 2 games for me. Duke versus Kentucky. Duke's defense is just not looking prestige this season so far from what I've seen. So I'm taking the over in that one. I think Kentucky can put up points for sure. And then Michigan State against Kansas. Give me Kansas with the points. Their last game, their first half, were really good, and then they were so far ahead they just kind of fell asleep in the second half and just gave up a load of silly points, which I don't think they'll do in this one against Michigan State. So yeah, give me Kansas. I'm getting it at minus 5.5.
There from Jack. Next up, we move on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, looking at these games here, the one I'm looking at, give me Delaware plus the 6.5 now you get with Delaware. Iona's not the same team we've seen over the last couple seasons, and now I expect them to cover a 6.5, and not the same team there. Give me Delaware plus the points there. I also like Old Dominion plus the points. It was 4, it's down to 3.5. Still like it at 3.5. I think they got a shot to outright Radford there in that one. And then looking at Duke and Kentucky, I know what you've seen. Both teams can play defense, solidly play defense here in this one. I like the under. It's one of those neutral court games, and I like neutral court games. So I just got to take the under here in this spot. I think we get a battle. Everybody figures they're going to see some points, and it's going to be a track meet. And I think we get under the total. Even if they both score into the 70s, that still ain't going to get you up and over that total. You're going to need someone to score at least way into the 80s. And I just don't trust Kansas, especially after Kansas has scored in the 80s their last game out. Usually when you look at Kansas after they've scored in the 80s, they're only 2-11 ATS following a game into the 80s there. Give me the under, Duke, Kentucky.
Yeah, from Rod, we move on over to David.
Yeah, I also liked Kansas against Michigan State. I didn't even realize the game started at 6:30 though. 6-2 Kansas early.
Is it off already?
Nice. I had no idea it started already. But I'm looking at North Florida and Georgia. I don't know how you can go against North Florida right now. They're catching 14.5 points here against Georgia, who did just smoke Texas Southern, but they only beat Tennessee Tech by 5 in their first game. North Florida's beaten Georgia Tech and South Carolina outright. I know those two teams aren't great, but still 2 solid wins. Charleston Southern was another solid win for them. They're shooting just under 49% from the floor, averaging just under 90 points per game. So give me the 14.5 with the Ospreys.
There from David. Tell you what I think of the games here tonight, I'll be looking at the under here, Duke, Kentucky. Duke here, going to be a test to test their defense because they didn't showcase their defense, sitting 6th in the Fed, say after they face 2 weak opponents. So they're going to test here because Duke, again, a lot of early round NCAA tournament exits for Duke since Coach K has exited. So what do? They're looking for defense. And that's what they're recruiting here. Some transfers coming in are basically what they did is to try to improve the defense for a deeper run into the tournament. This is a good way to test it here. We looked at Wildcats' 3-point defense has been very good to start the year, so we'll look for Duke and Kentucky to go under total in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Let's get ready here for the NHL. We'll switch over to the NHL for tonight. We've got, looks like a 7-game card, so let's switch it over here to NHL. And let's get the odds screen up right now for it. NHL board here, odds. We've got, all right, so this block, we will start it off here with the Senators Maple Leafs. We got the Maple Leafs $1.23, total 6. Then we'll move on over to, Jets and Rangers. Rangers $1.15, now total 6. Devils and Panthers. Panthers $1.21, total of 6. We'll get this one started here with Damien.
I like the Panthers here against New Jersey. Florida's been red hot, have won 7 in a row, averaging nearly 5 goals per game in this during this 7-game win streak. Bobrovsky's just been fantastic in net yet again. And Florida has beaten New Jersey 7 of the last 10 times they've played. I like them to make it 8 of 11 after tonight.
Yeah, from Damien, let's see. We'll move on over to, I don't know, you got something today, Jack?
I do, just the one, and it's
okay.
Lucky because I just had a pop-up jump up on my laptop saying my PC needs to restart in 1 minute, so I'll get this one out quick and I'll be right back. Look, no one gave the Jets a shot coming into this season, but they're proving everyone wrong right now with the new team, the new roster, and so on. I've got to take the Jets on the money line on the road here.
There from Jack. We move on next up over to Rob.
Yeah, I like the under in the Jets and Rangers. You look head to head, the last 7 meetings between these two teams have all seen 6 goals or less. And you got Shesterkin taking on Hellebuck. Shesterkin wants to put his best foot forward in that game and say, hey, I can hang with Hellebuck there of the Jets because he's been the number 1 goalie all season long. So I lean to the Jets, but I like the under as the play there in that one. And you know what? I got to go against you there, Damien. I got to take the Devils there in that spot. That price is down to like plus 105 for good reason because it's not Bobrovsky in net tonight for the Panthers. It's good old Spencer Knight. I give it to Spencer Knight. He's had a solid start to his season. I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him, and I'm sure he's pretty light and I can throw him a long way. So I just really do not trust Spencer Knight in the spot. Devils, this is one of those spots they get up for. They got goalied last game, so it's kind of like when you see a team in baseball where they leave all the runners on and you go 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position, that's where the Devils were last game. They got Blackwood, who made 44 saves and got shut out 1-0. So I think they come back in this spot and get the Panthers. So give me the Devils in that one over Florida.
All right, there from Rod. We move on over to David.
Yeah, and the Devils-Panthers game for me, I'm going to take a look at the over 6.5, which is plus money right now. And yeah, with Spencer Knight in goal, I don't trust him either. This Florida offense, though, has scored 4 goals in at least 5 games straight. I only have their last 5 pulled up, but their offense has been rolling. I know the Devils defensively are only allowing 2.7 goals against, but I think we see a higher scoring game here. Like Rod alluded to, New Jersey did play well offensively as far as generating chances and scoring chances and shots in their last game against San Jose. Couldn't get any by their goalie, but I think they come through here. So I think we see a high scoring game, and at plus money, I like the over. And then the Jets and the Rangers, I'm going to take the Rangers at home. I know the Jets are rolling. They've won 14 of their first 15 games, but that pace isn't going to keep up. I mean, that is a crazy pace, and they're playing another great defensive team here. Right? Winnipeg's only allowing 2.07 goals against per game, but the Rangers are right behind them at 2.31. I think we could see a lower scoring game, but I like the Rangers at home as the Jets have to come down to earth, and I think this is a tough spot for them.
There from David and Ray CR. Let's continue here on the drive. We'll close out the final 4 here from the NHL tonight, and they will be Bruins and Blues here. Bruins $1.72 on the road, total 5.5. Islanders and Oilers. Oilers $2.23, total of 6. Flames, Canucks. Canucks 221, total of 6. We close out with Blue Jackets at Kraken. Kraken $1.42, total 6.5. We begin here with Damien.
I'm going to go with the Kraken in this one. They're coming off that nice win against Vegas. The Blue Jackets are definitely very beatable. And then they've got the Blackhawks and Islanders on deck. They have a chance here to run, make a really nice win streak. Columbus just off on the road. They've lost 17 of their last 18. They just don't get it done away from home. And go with Seattle in this one to get the win.
There from Damien. Looks like Jack is still rebooting. We move on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at St. Louis to beat Boston. You look at that. What's the record? Boston 7-7-2 on the season. Blues 7-8 on the season. But that's not a coin flip price. That should be a coin flip price. Both teams are 500 clubs at best. And you got Boston minus 180 favorite on the road. No chance. Give me St. Louis there in that one. So St. Louis follows a home loss up with what? A win. 7-1 following a home loss are the St. Louis Blues. So I like the Blues there in that spot, and that's plus price. Of course, I'm going to take the Oilers to beat up on the Islanders. They've done it in 6 straight, I believe, at home versus the Islanders. The home team has won 8 straight head-to-head between those two teams. The Oilers also covered the puck line in 4 straight. So give me the Oilers on the puck line in that one. Hey, McDavid's back and healthy and looking real good. Scored a goal and a couple assists last game out. I think that continues here in this one, and they beat up on the Romanellis. Sorry, Romanelli, your team's getting whooped again in Edmonton. It's a normal thing, and they come to visit once a year, and we whoop up on you. Hey, your best chance is to get it back when we come to Long Island, because we know those games are a little closer. Not in Edmonton. You're going to get whooped in that one. And then I agree. Give me the Seattle Kraken. Columbus stinks on the road. Absolutely stinks. You lost to the Ducks last time. You can get whooped here by Seattle. Take the puck line. A nice big plus price on that. I think they easily beat up on Columbus there in that one. In Calgary and the Canucks, only one way to go. Calgary won last night. Back-to-back spot. Canucks dance, Canucks dance, Canucks dance, Canucks dance. Canucks starting to get better.
There you go.
Puck line. Canucks beat up on Calgary in that one.
Yeah, from Rod. All right, we got you through the NHL. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment here. Cappers will give you a parlay, or they'll give you maybe a pick for upcoming games from NFL, college football, or player props, team props. They make the call. Starting with Damien.
Yeah, I'm going to head back to action here. I'm taking a look at this Ball State Buffalo game. I actually have a prop for a wide receiver, Justin Bowick of Ball State, to go over 46.5 yards receiving. He's a guy that's been hurt a lot of this year, but he's finally getting healthy, and he's the deep threat here on Ball State. Last game, he had 171 yards receiving against Miami of Ohio. He's a guy that can take the lid off the defenses, and over 46.5 yards. Jump on that one, guys.
From Damien, next up, we move on over to Jack still rebooting. We move on over to Ron.
So we're going to lay the points with the Celtics. They win by 20. We're going to take the St. Louis Blues and take the under New York Jets. No big sport.
There we go. From Rod on over to David.
Yeah, I'm looking at a quarterback prop in this Western Michigan Bowling Green game tonight. Western Michigan quarterback Hayden Wolf, at least on DraftKings, 181 passing yards or more, was at minus 120 earlier today. I would assume it's still around that number. I like the over there. Western Michigan's offense has been pretty solid, and he's gone over this number in 4 out of his last 5 games. The one game he missed, he finished at 179, so he was right there. And Bowling Green, their pass defense numbers are very solid, but you look at who they've played recently to help bolster those numbers. Central Michigan, who was on their third-string quarterback, really struggled, and Kent State, who I don't even know if they know what the forward pass is. So they've been able to beat up on those types of teams. Toledo threw for over 300 yards on them. Akron, I think, was just under 300 yards. So give me Hayden Wolf over, or I guess 181 passing yards or more.
From David Racy. All right, we got you to parlay peripheral. I'll give you mine. Here, I like the Hawks Celtics over. I like Philly here now plus 3.5, the Sixers. And I'll take here the Suns and Jazz to go under total of 228. Now in that one, seeing that line move around here, so do your line shop and get this over. Let me go ahead and do a quick refresh to see if we have any late news here, any injuries here from the NBA here as we get ready here. Let's see the Atlanta game. I thought they might have been. Oh, Atlanta's still the same injuries. Here, Miami, Detroit, nothing changes. Nothing changes here. Charlotte and the Magic. Knicks and the Sixers still waiting on McBride and Payne's status, still questionable. Toronto Temple now has been upgraded to probable there, so that's the change there in the Toronto-Milwaukee game. Suns and the Jazz, still questionable status here for Nurkic, the rim protector, iffy with an ankle here for Tuesday, and still no word whether or not he will play in this game. So iffy for Jusuf Nurkic, later game tonight there. Dallas and the Warriors, Exum and out. Washington is doubtful. Lively will play. Lively is in. Doncic still is probable. Still Wiggins still questionable. Still Ayton. We're still waiting on Ayton's decision on that finger, so he might just give us the finger in that one. I don't know. All right, let's see the drive-through. We got Jack back here. Jack is back, so maybe Jack can give us his parlay for tonight's action.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Got to take the Hornets points tonight. I've got to take the over in that Knicks game, and then give me the points with Golden State Warriors with, I'd say, at 80% Doncic. I just think that's a really nice treble, as we call it in Europe.
That's been nice, 80%, giving them an 80% health rate. I think it's probably more like 60, 70, if at best.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Their health rating there from Jack there. All right, guys, let's take a look at what the cappers have for sale over at Pick Dogs. Man, this is a busy month of action, busiest November here, right? All these sports are up, a huge matchup in college football for the month, NFL as well, getting towards the Thanksgiving holiday. So let's take a look over at Pick Dogs. Well, that's Jack, what he's got for sale right now over at Pick Dogs. For him, Jack has been on fire in the NBA as well as the NFL. We see what do you got for sale over on the site.
Yeah, just a 3-pack with the NBA Cup games tonight. The Celtics game, Pistons game, and the Bucks game. So I've got a triple play in that one. As you said, Tony, we've been hitting the nail on the head. We've had a little bit of a dip recently. Had a 1 and 2 day yesterday. Got unlucky by 1 point with the Cavs spread. So that was a bit unfortunate. But every time I've had a 1-2 day on Pick Dogs, I've bounced back with either a 2-1 or a 3-0. So I'm looking to do that today. And you've got about 6 minutes and change to get on that one if you're interested, guys.
Yeah, get on board with Jack over at Pick Dogs. Take a look over it with Damien right now. What do you guys going on over at Pick Dogs? Damien enjoying a great college football year.
Yeah, I've got 3 plays out for sale tonight, Tony. The total in one of the MAC games here. I got my College Hoops Fast Break and my NBA Vegas Gold all for sale individually. You can get them all together in my Winner's Circles pass. But the best way to go is definitely 3, 7, or 30-day plan, because I do have some extra plays out there, guys. And the only way you're going to be able to get those is by getting one of these plans. And my favorite thing to do is a 2-for-1 capper deal, guys. Hook me up with one of these other fantastic cappers, and we'll definitely put some money in your wallet.
Get on board with Damon over at Pick Dogs. Playing great college football. We've got big matchups coming up here in November and into December. And of course, playoffs as well. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs. We'll ask Rod what he's got for sale right now. Rod, what's happening over at Pick Dogs? For him to come off a big day yesterday.
Yeah, off that big day yesterday, I got 3 plays as well. I got my 10-star drop a dime play, top play in the NBA. Went a nice 3-0 yesterday. Let's continue with that one. Love it. Also got my top play in the college basketball action. Went 3-0 in college basketball yesterday. We're going to continue that there with it singly. Also crushed it with Calgary yesterday on the money line. That's my sniper play of the day in the NHL. You can scoop that up singly. Or the best way to go is to grab all 3 of those plays in the mixed sport jumbo pack, where you get all 3 of those plays in one package. I'm looking to go 3-0 there and crush it, and then jump aboard something long term. Because this is the way to go. Loaded action this week. So many plays. Higher volume, as you see. We went 3-0 there, 3-0 there. You get a couple plays here in the NBA, a couple plays in college hoops, NHL, and then you get some football coming up. So it's instead of buying all these plays individually, if you're serious about going making money here with me, the best way is to go long term. That way you don't miss out on any of those plays that I give out. And as Damien said, that 2-for-1 capper promotional, 3-for-1 capper promotional, 4-for-1 capper promotional. There's all up that you see on today's show. And let's all put money in your pocket this week. Don't forget the promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off.
That's right. I'm right over at Pick Dogs. We'll see what David has for sale over at Pick Dogs. Have a great NFL year.
Yeah, I have 6 plays total tonight. I actually have a play in all 3 of the football games. I got 1 NBA, 1 college basketball, and 1 NHL. Definitely a higher volume, better. So the long-term passes are definitely the way to go. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, like you guys have been touching on. November is a crazy month. So many sports going on. So long-term is going to save you a lot of money. So head on over to Pick Dogs and check it out.
That's right, got board David over at Pick Dogs. We're going to get the long-term pass, as he mentioned. Very good value right now, especially in this month. I have a best bet on the board right now for college football. Also, I have a 3-pack with college football and a couple from the NBA. Don't buy them both because my best bet is bundle my 3-pack, or why not to get my long-term pass? I'm number 2 in the NFL document over at Pick Dogs. You can get on board with a 7-day pass that you get covered for the NFL for this week, as well as all my college football. Have a good college football year as well, NBA as well in the green. So get on board with me right now over at Pick Dogs. That 7-day pass is a great value. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Well, of course, the multi-cap promotion, even greater value there. All right, we got you through it here on the show. Let's find out what the cappers have going on over on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel, and maybe in written form. Of course, Jack, I know, what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs YouTube?
Pretty quiet on YouTube, to be honest, because we've got no Euro club football right now. It's all national teams. It's international soccer right now. Sorry, I shouldn't say football. Soccer. It makes me cringe when I say that word. Sorry, guys. But Thursday, well, tomorrow we have videos up for those international games, and we'll have them coming up every single day, all the way up until the end of the international break. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and of course, go and check out my video with Goran and Kirk on Wednesday.
Hey, David, you can be read in written form over on the sites.
Yep, over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Just head over there, click on the free pick tab at the top of the page, click on whatever sports you're looking for. It's a great source of information. Pick Dogs carries every single college basketball game, so those small ones that you really have no idea about, it's a great place for stats and trends and all that good stuff. So check it out.
Yeah, and Rod, you're pretty much a regular here on the drive-thru.
Pretty much regular here, yeah. Some days I even fill in on the Thursday, so otherwise you see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday here regularly on the drive-thru, so definitely tune in.
I'm on the drive-thru. Get all those confirmed goalie changes. So got all the late information here. Rod can give you the picks here as well here on the drive-thru every Monday through Friday except Thursday. Sometimes they'll sneak in on Thursday too. So you check us out here on the drive-thru. Like and subscribe and set notifications so be notified when we're live and all the content that's delivered here on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. All right, we're going to close it out here on the show. Any late words from anybody before we go?
You can stay.
Rod, what happened? You cut off there, Rod.
Did I cut off there? I said, go Michigan State. Go, let's go.
Let's go. All right, he's on Michigan State. That's going to do it, guys. We're going to wait.